watching WAFF 48 News on your side. This is breaking news.
We're following breaking news as we come on this streaming newscast at noon. Welcome in. I'm Gina Benitez. Today we learned Trinity United Methodist Church is opening an internal investigation into operations at the church's daycare. The church released a statement about the hiring of an outside firm to conduct this investigation. The church also placed another daycare employee on leave. Heather Atkinson now joins Director Cheryl Radin, Associate Director Megan Tarrin as the third employee placed on leave. All three are named in a lawsuit from parents at the daycare. This all happening 3 weeks after Huntsville police arrested now former employee Cameron White. White is charged with 8 counts of child sex abuse. He'd worked at the daycare for 5 years before being fired. He is currently in the Madison County Jail. His preliminary hearing is set for February 18th. Well, people in Fayetteville are rallying around several business owners after a raging fire left a path of destruction on the city square. 4 businesses were destroyed in that massive fire yesterday. The businesses that were destroyed are Mercantile on Market, the Skin Refinery, Young Vintage, and the Dance Academy Fayetteville. It took 10 hours for crews to get that fire under control. Several other businesses remain closed today due to all the damage on the south side of the square. One Fayetteville business owner is still in shock.
When we go through adversity like this, it really shows what this community is made of, that we have people showing up to just support our firemen, support our first responders in ways that you would never even think. Just to be there to bring food and water and Gatorade. I think it's a huge thing to say about our community, that we'll show up and we'll support our community.
An investigation is now underway into the cause of this fire. The group Fayetteville Main Street has set up a site to donate to those affected business owners. Every dollar raised will go toward filling insurance gaps and helping these businesses get back on their feet. We have a link to the donation site on our website, WAFF.com.
So we've had a gorgeous day thus far going into our week ahead. We're expecting to see temperatures for today kind of get a little warmer than anticipated at the moment. What we're seeing outside right now, gorgeous conditions, 65 degrees. Looks like we had a jump in our forecast there, but 60s all around for the most part. Muscle Shoals already hitting the high of the day, 69 out that way. Beautiful sunshine is expected. Looking ahead to your afternoon, we're expecting to see our temperatures in those mid and upper 60s all around. And it's going to be a warm day, and that sunshine is going to be gorgeous outside with no clouds to disrupt it. As we go through your evening hours, we'll start to drop into those 50s, expecting a nice night overall. Lowest temperature expected to be just at 49 degrees. So a couple areas may be around 50 to 52 later tonight. But as we go through our evening plans, we're expecting to see some patchy fog picking up into your evening. So keep that in mind if you have any later plans. Maybe you're running some errands after work, but we are expecting to see some of that patchy fog in some of those areas that are most likely to be a little bit dense in fog most of the time at this time of year. So keep that in mind making your plans tonight.
Now to a story you will only see on 48. Some shocking new developments in an alleged mass shooting case in Madison County. Defense attorneys for suspect Ashton Elliott allege that more than a dozen pieces of crucial evidence are gone. Now this case dates back to January of 2023 when several people started shooting at a birthday party in Brownsboro. 2 people were killed and dozens of others were hurt. Following that shooting, Ashton Elliott was arrested and charged with murder. 3 others were also charged in connection to this case. Yesterday, Elliott's attorneys asked a judge to drop the charges against him. They claim that video files of 14 key interviews with witnesses and other suspects are now gone. Elliott's legal team says the DA's office was never given the video statements by law enforcement. They also say that since the evidence is lost, it would not be possible to have a fair trial. Now, we have reached out to the Madison County Sheriff's Office for comment. We're told that a new statement should be coming later today. Ashton Elliott, meanwhile, is set to go to trial sometime this summer. Happening today, the Muscle Shoals City Council will meet in special session to consider a termination appeal. Now, former city clerk Brittany Walker was fired late last month after an investigation into the city's finances. She was also accused of misusing a city vehicle and improperly changing employee schedules. Walker has claimed no wrongdoing. She's asking the council to give her job back. Today's hearing is set for 6 p.m. We will be there and keep you updated. A Marshall County mother who nearly beat her 2-year-old daughter to death will go to prison for her crimes. Minutes ago, a judge sentenced Carmen Casanova to 40 years in prison. Casanova's toddler was found with bruises, a busted lip, and several brain and neck injuries back in 2022. Marshall County prosecutors said that she beat and hit her child on multiple occasions. The child has since recovered and has been adopted. Well, jury selection is underway in the trial of a man accused of pretending to be a teen's father, checking her out of school, and then sexually assaulting her. Investigators say Justin Stevens of Kentucky traveled to Central High School in Florence and then checked out a student who he claimed was his daughter. Lauderdale County prosecutors say he then raped her at a nearby hotel. Authorities believe he met that child on social media. He's charged with traveling to meet a child for sex. His trial is set to start later this morning. A federal grand jury has indicted a Madison County sex offender on child porn charges. Jeremy Hatfield was arrested and indicted for transportation and possession of child porn. Hatfield landed on the sex offender registry after his indictment on similar federal charges in 2019. He's currently in federal custody awaiting a hearing date. Well, covering news around Alabama now, a man is dead and a police officer is injured after an officer-involved shooting in Hoover. That officer was rushed to the hospital after an exchange of gunfire with the suspect. The suspect's family member was also hit and pronounced dead at that scene.
Because officers discharged their weapons, the investigation was turned over to the State Bureau of Investigation.
They did a fantastic job. They did exactly what they've been trained to do.
The man killed at the scene was identified as 71-year-old Glenn Adrian Griggs. The suspect was also shot and taken to the hospital in stable condition. Now to a dog hoarding case in Tuskegee. Police there say the homeowner died, leaving more than 30 Chihuahuas in the home to fend for themselves. The cages were stacked on top of each other and there was trash laying around. Some officers said this was the worst hoarding case they'd ever encountered. The dogs were found in varying stages of health. The owner who died did not have any family in the area, further complicating the situation.
Unfortunately, this hoarding case is a mental illness, and without family to be checking on people, when it goes unchecked, it can definitely get to a situation that's as bad as this one.
Many of those dogs had respiratory issues. Tuskegee animal control officers are working with local shelters to get the dogs back in good health and find them forever homes. A Morgan County Sheriff's Office canine that suffered a medical emergency has died. The Sheriff's Office said Peluche died early this morning. The Golden Retriever was trained in narcotics detection and had been with the department for 6 years. The dog was set to retire this month. A Tuscaloosa County judge's ruling on an Alabama basketball player's eligibility could come at any time now. Charles Bediaco spent Friday in court for an injunction hearing in his case against the NCAA. Bediaco wants to continue his college career after he left the university 3 years ago to play professionally. Bediaco remained with the team for Saturday's victory over Auburn while awaiting the judge's ruling. Well, it is Valentine's week, and we want to warn you about a scam that's preying on people looking for love. What to look out for next. Well, Valentine's Day is right around the corner, which unfortunately means romance scams are on the rise. This afternoon, 48 is on your side warning you about a popular new texting scam. Karen Reeves with the Better Business Bureau says the scam is rising in popularity. The goal is to get you to respond and then try to form some sort of relationship with you. After building that relationship, the scammer will start asking for money or even an investment in a company. Reeves says scammers are also heavily relying on payment apps these days because once you get that or send that money, you typically can't get it back.
They're trying to develop a romance scam with someone. They may share a story about I was in a bad breakup, a relationship ended, and then try to just go from there and develop a relationship, which can turn into what we term a financial grooming scam.
Well, bottom line, these scammers just want your money. So yes, while love is in the air, just be wary of any texts you get from unknown numbers. Reeves says do not respond and block that number. Opening statements begin this week in the first trial accusing social media of harming teens and their mental health. The plaintiff is a now 20-year-old woman who alleges Instagram and YouTube harmed her mental health when she was younger. She and her mother accused the companies of provoking addictive behaviors. The woman says the platforms gave her anxiety, body dysmorphia, and suicidal thoughts. Attorneys for Meta and YouTube appear poised to argue her family life caused those issues. A potential ruling in the case could affect hundreds of similar lawsuits. Well, it could soon be easier for young women to get needed sanitary products at schools in Tennessee, all for free. Tennessee lawmakers are considering a bill that, if approved, would open the door for feminine hygiene vending machines to be installed at high schools. The machines would have pads, tampons, and other similar items. Happening right now, the Decatur Fire Department is hosting a blood drive with a purpose. The blood drive for Brooklyn will take place at 3 different locations around the city today. Brooklyn is suffering from cancer and is an important part of the Decatur Fire and Rescue family. We're told firefighters from as far as Coleman and Hoover have turned out to donate today. You can donate blood until 3:30 this afternoon.
Now, your first alert weather forecast with Jada Russell.
We have a pleasant day for the valley so far. What we're expecting to see is beautiful sunshine throughout most of the day ahead. And like I mentioned, a lot of our temperatures sticking around these upper 60s. Some areas already at the upper 60s at the moment, but here in Huntsville, we're already getting our way past those 60s into the mid area. And we'll continue to see that throughout the next few hours, dropping into some 50s once we get into the evening hours. Tonight's low is expected to be around 59 here in the metro area. Partly cloudy, and we've got patchy fog. So some areas develop fog a little quicker than others. So if you have any evening plans, keep that in mind as you make your commute around the town this evening. Otherwise, should be pretty pleasant. A look ahead to the forecast in the next coming days. We're expecting to see rain chances Tuesday evening. So we have a slight chance of those showers starting as early as 8 o'clock for a lot of areas. But as we continue through the rest of the night, this is picking it up at 10:30. You'll notice a good portion of us will see rain. Few eastern communities will miss a shower early on, but as we get into those overnight hours, we'll start to see that kind of widely spread across the valley and become a bit heavier with that downpour. And this is out the door around 5:30 tomorrow morning. And as we continue through the rest of your Wednesday, should shape up to be pretty nice that afternoon. So for my students, teachers that think about recess, about that early morning hour, it's probably going to be wet outside. But as we continue through the rest of Wednesday, should be nice and pretty sunny for the most part. We're seeing that cloud cover kind of edge off to the side there. If you're already thinking about the weekend, we just came off of one, but you may be looking ahead because we've got Valentine's Day coming up. Expectations are to see rain chances in both days of the weekend. We've got a 50% chance for Saturday, 60 by Sunday. The expectation, though, is low for a severe threat, but we will start to see that widespread shower in the midday of each of these days here. We'll also see our temperatures walk back into the 50s. This is closer to our average for this time of year, thankfully. So we're starting to get back into those upper 50s. Our average typically is around mid to low in 50s for this time, but most of this week is starting to feel a little bit like late March, early April, quite warm. And here's our 10-day forecast to show you that. We're seeing our temperatures drop into the 60s after Tuesday. at 71 is the high that day, but 60s all around the back half of the week. As we get to the weekend, though, we'll start to see some upper 50s. Rain chances will start to be in and around each day. Thursday is a similar setup to Tuesday, where we see those afternoon showers carrying over into your Friday morning, and we'll see those showers for most of the Friday morning midday hours. Going into Saturday and Sunday, we're expecting to see more of that rain chance there. Thankfully, we're not seeing any of that cold stuff, snow and whatnot, but looking ahead to the following week, getting back into those 60s, which is well above our average for this time of year yet again.
Well, all new and next, the search for answers over Nancy Guthrie's disappearance, what we're learning about the investigation, and a deadline for a ransom. Plus some new developments in the Jeffrey Epstein case. What happened when Ghislaine Maxwell went before members of Congress today? Ghislaine Maxwell appeared before the House Oversight Committee for a virtual deposition on Monday, but she did not answer questions. Instead, Maxwell opted to plead the Fifth. She was an accomplice of convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. She was convicted in 2021 of sex trafficking, a minor, and other charges. A sheriff's deputy spent part of the morning at the home of Nancy Guthrie. It comes as a ransom deadline looms in the case of the missing mother of Today Show host Savannah Guthrie. The family has said they will pay the ransom. Catherine Patterson reports on the latest in this mysterious disappearance.
Deputies returned to the home of 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie Sunday morning and made their way to the backyard. Drone camera video captured what appears to be investigators searching through a septic tank. In front of Guthrie's house, deputy vehicles remain on standby to keep the news crews off the property. They even responded to a trespassing call earlier in the day. But among the bustle of news crews were a few residents wanting to do something.
I came out here with a friend to bring flowers out here for the Guthrie family.
More candles and flowers are beginning to grow around the driveway that a week ago became a crime scene.
Tucson is a beautiful, nice, calm city, and for something like this to happen, it's horrible, horrific.
But as the city grapples with Guthrie's tragic disappearance, their faith for a safe return still burns bright.
We will get her back. We will get her back good and healthy and fine.
Ruiz hopes that his first step of bringing flowers to this display will encourage others to do the same. Reporting in Tucson, Arizona, Catherine Patterson, back to you.
And Guthrie's church family prayed for her during Sunday's worship service. This is the same church Nancy attended, and it's where a week ago that churchgoers alerted the family after she didn't show up to her usual service.
And we continue to pray and to stand with Nancy Guthrie and her family. And we are seeking to just honor the family's privacy and their desires. It was communicated to me, pray. So we're going to keep praying through this horrific ordeal.
Now, there's currently a $50,000 reward in this case. Guthrie's purported abductor is demanding a $6 million ransom. The first softball coach ever at UAH now has a field named after her. The University of Alabama Board of Trustees approved a resolution naming Les Studeman Field. Studeman is the founding head coach of Charger softball. She took the team from its beginnings in 1996 to a perennial power in the Gulf South Conference before retiring last year. Studeman won 13 GSC championships and 4 NCAA regional championships during her career.
Taking a final look at your forecast, we've got some warm days up ahead, but you'll notice today's the pick day of the week. We've got rain chances in and around the next few days. Thankfully, rain gets started late on Tuesday, and by the time we get to Wednesday morning, most of the morning will be wet, including that morning commute. So make sure you have that umbrella, rain jacket, whatever is your fancy, and drive safe out there. Some of that pavement could be slick. As we get to Thursday and Friday, we'll see a little bit of a rinse and repeat. That will have a nice starting day, but later showers develop for Thursday and then into Friday as well. So if you're planning anything for Valentine's Day, make sure it's indoors. Looks like we're going to get another day of rain with that as well. Temperatures starting to finally settle into our somewhat average, getting into those upper 50s by the weekend, and looking ahead to the following week. Back in the 60s, and thankfully that time, plenty of sunshine expected.
Yeah, that's exciting. All right, thank you, Jada. That's it for now. We will see you back online at 3 p.m. for the Fast Cast and on air for the 4 p.m. news as usual. Have a good one.